is it's a plant.
A plant.
Yeah.
Oh, we had the plant competition.
What plant? Oh, the flowering plant.
He hosted it.
You're
He
onto something, Ollie. America's plant.
I got an honest question for you, Dan. Honest question.
I always give honest answers.
Okay.
Whether you
I
like
mean,
it or
I know
not.
that you're a curious dude. That's awesome. You know,
Carson?
your brain works constantly.
here.
But don't you find it
Come
a
here.
little bit
He's in trouble
kind
right
of
now.
unfair that you will not, if we ask you any sort of a question, you always go around?
That's
and
not
answer?
true. What question have you asked me that's denied?
Oh, not denied.
Or not answered? Name one question. Because I find that very
Like this?
erroneous.
Are you really
Whoa, that's a big
independent?
word.
It's your politics. Are you really independent?
I didn't say it was independent. See, you already
Why
got
don't
your
you go
facts
right now?
What
twisted.
did he say?
What did I say, Libra?
He didn't
Well,
say it was
what's your
independent.
name?
What did you say?
He said his
Just
house
know?
was split, but he never did disclose.
But I
Like
used
your
one
name.
word that I used.
What?
If you can't remember,
You remember
then
what
how
it
you
was?
expect me to answer the
I
question?
said undecided.
Oh, undecided.
Yes.
Okay. So, Dan, when we talk about relationships, you get all into ours, but we can't get into yours.
How have I gotten into yours? I ask relevant questions that I can apply to my relationship. I don't ask what style is of which direction and this and that. You never hear me ask those questions.
That's true. You don't ask that.
Right, what do I ask? I ask
You don't really ask me that many relationship questions.
Right.
Does he ask y'all?
Sure.
No, not 10.
I just play Dr. Phil with them. But I've asked you, like, when do you think a good time to get married is and have kids and stuff like that. I don't ask you the intimate details of
Yeah.
your...
Like which position?
Right.
Thanks.
That's not me. I'm not going to ask someone that in my normal life. You know? Not
If
that-
I could just
Carson, come here.
be a little fly on the wall in your normal life for 20 seconds.
But sometimes it's good to let people in. Like, I
Do you
have a
not
question
remember
for
how to
you.
spell
You're
your
probably not going
name?
to answer it. But
Come here.
besides Monica, have you ever had a serious relationship before?
Tell me, how do you spell your name?
Yeah. I mean, that's a
Don't let
good
him answer.
question,
Let him
though.
answer.
That's
Don't cut
a
him off. Let him answer.
I mean, there's nothing
Then
against
what did
Monica.
you
She has
go
to
to year
understand
round?
that she's probably had past relationships.
No,
so.
she is. She's had one serious problem. I dated someone that I really, really cared about in high school.
You better remember that
And
shit. You were
it
starting
didn't really
school,
work
the
out.
first grade.
But
How long did y'all date?
You want to go back to kindergarten?
less than 6 months. But that's the girl I was telling you about, Ollie, that we ran into at the concert.
Yep.
But other than that, there's no one that I really liked.
No?
You know?
Not even through college or anything?
No, in college, and this is where misconceptions happen, are that I dated a lot in college, in numbers, but not in length. Does that make sense?
Serious relationship.
Not quantity.
She's just like me.
Now, let me ask you.
I wouldn't say
if,
just like you.
Yeah, it's the same way,
Oh,
Dan.
Dan, if you could be an animal, what would you be?
Question. I need to think about that. While I'm thinking about that, why don't you tell me your answer?
Of course. What's your answer?
I don't know what I would be. I'm waiting on yours.
Give me a second. Thinking I'd like to be able to go into multiple environments. So land, air, and sea. Which limits me down to about 5 animals.
You want to be a seahawk?
Land,
Buffalo?
air, and sea.
They can't fly there, sweetheart.
Why do we eat
He's
buffalo
thinking of
wings?
the
Buffaloes
Jessica
have
Simpson
wings.
commercial. I know it.
Buffaloes have wings so they can fly. Buffalo wings.
I have not yet seen a buffalo flying.
I've seen them fly. Just right over the northern
I
tree.
got so many good questions for you, Dan. I'm ready for you tonight.
Come
on, let me ask them. They're not bad.
I'm trying to think.
I got a question for you.
I'm still on the animal question.
So,
Come back to that one.
besides Monica, have you taken other girls home to meet your parents?
That's a good question. Oh, that's a tricky question.
No, it's not.
Why?
You need to
Because,
brought somebody
listen,
home.
let me
You need to
explain.
brought them
Yes
home
or
with
no?
you, Daddy.
Let me
Yes or
explain.
no?
There
No.
has to be some explanation. My parents are divorced.
Okay.
So if I bring someone...
Either house.
to-
Mom or
if I
dad.
bring someone to meet my mom, that could be normal because that's where I live. But to introduce someone to my dad would be huge because I don't see him often. So if you're saying extended family, including my father, only Monica. If you're saying other girls,
Gotcha.
I brought them home because that's where
That's
I
where you live.
So,
Gotcha. That makes
Okay,
sense.
this is gonna be good.
That makes sense.
You still on the animal question?
yes.
If you were to bring home a black woman, Dan, what would your
Ew.
family say?
They'd be fine with it. I think my immediate family would be fine with it. But my grandmother, you know, the older generation, they'd be fine. But, you know,
I'm the exact instance. Like
They
my
wouldn't-
immediate
they
family would
would
not care at
They
all.
wouldn't say
but
anything
I
bad.
have to admit
you know,
that
but
my
it would be like, they have to get used to it. But my mom, dad, sister, that generation would be fine.
So all the black girls that are 17, told.
there's hope out there, girls.
Yeah,
That was a joke. Haha, laughing. We're all laughing. 21.
Let me see.
Dan, what's your biggest fear?
I don't
I
want
can't read your name very
because
well.
I do have one. It's
You think you can come right at Nita?
to open up a huge thing. I don't know.
You'll never talk about it. You just don't
got
want to talk about it.
no.
I don't know. I don't think I want to talk.
I got a
Right
question
there.
because Dan and I, you and I seem to have a lot in
On the
common
back.
here.
No, the other side. Flip
So-
it over.
Is the reason that you are
Flip it over.
so particular about your relationships
Try
and
again.
kind of keeping them, where you're at and saying I love you as
Perfect.
long as it took
School
you?
starts next
Does
week.
it have anything to stem back to your parents being divorced? Because I sometimes feel that way. I mean, do you only want to
Smile.
obviously get married once
There
and
you
like
go.
make sure that it's definitely
Fine.
Right, and that's
Straight
like,
line.
and that's my whole. When my parents went through divorce, I was 21 or
There you
22,
go.
but it still doesn't matter. I mean, it still affected me.
sure.
But that, I mean, I can take it as a negative, or I can take it as that's a positive and say that's never going to happen to me no matter what.
Right.
And that's why it may have taken me so long to do certain things with Monica,
Okay, let me
including
see.
that, because
You
I
wanna
want to
make
make
sure
sure,
it's right.
and everything I've done so far,
That's
yeah,
better.
Monica might have had to wait longer, but
Oh, it's much better.
I feel very strongly,
Write it.
everything I've done
Write
or
it
said
again.
to her,
Hey,
it's
Brett.
because I'm 100%.
write it again
How
right
old is
here.
she?
Okay.
She's 6 months younger than me.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Are her parents still
Yeah,
together?
right there.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And she has like
Oh, that's
her
right. You had dinner
family's
with
very
them. Right,
close.
Right there.
And
Nice
so
to meet.
your birthday is when?
Right, one more time.
And hers is what?
Write your
November?
name.
March
They'll have a birthday in here.
Oh, so she's younger. Okay.
There's one. It's
Yeah, how
Dan.
do you-
September
Just
1st.
write your name.
Yeah, that's if he's here.
Yeah, that's a long way away. That's why I've been
Well,
saying
you'll
it.
still be
That's less
here.
than
You're
a
still in
month away.
sequester. No
Nice
matter
to
what,
meet
you're
you.
still going to
Well.
be with us. You're not getting away from us for the next, unfortunately, sorry, it was known today. You're stuck for the next 60 days.
So, which animal are you?
Because there's not a vicious enough bird that can do damage on both land and sea. You know what I mean? Without being easily picked off by a land predator.
Come on.
So if you had to like pin me right now and say what would you
Let's
be?
see.
Eagle.
Maybe an eagle. Possibly an eagle.
It's America's bird.
What would you be, Libra?
Here. Write your name again.
Wait,
Let me see.
animal? Be a lion.
There.
Surprise there. Wow. What would you be?
Hear me roar.
Probably a spider monkey.
Hey, here.
Ollie?
See, look at me. Look at me.
Big
Write
surprise.
your name on this line right here.
With you?
Okay, one more
I
time.
was expecting to hear lioness. That's what I was expecting.
Oh, lioness.
Guess what the St. Mary's mascot is?
An eagle.
Eaglet.
Right there.
It's kind of. I know it's kind of weird, but
Wow.
Weird.